Hello, the game has started and it's me to go first. Just say hello to my opponent and let's have a look. Decent rack. Is there a bingo here? I'm not seeing one straight away. And I might change. I might exchange A and O. That's a pretty strong 5-letter set. Wow, that's a rack to have. I'll almost certainly be bingoing here. I can't see a scenario in which I wouldn't be. Okay, opponent exchanges as well. Now, I'll be looking to make the blank a letter which I already have on my rack to limit the opportunities given to opponent. So I guess salutes would be fine. Yeah, I'll play it here. Salutes for 64. That's a pretty good rack as well. Spacier is an option. And there's probably Azoth. Okay. Looking at 4 timers through the T. Through the T, what would it be? It's not cap rights, it's cup rights through the... Oh, that I don't have that anyway. The T... not seeing one with the T. Crapiest. I don't think is... No. Okay, not seeing that. There's got to be... Oh, pie crates. Pie crates and... can't see it. $74. There might have been a 4-timer there, but I just couldn't see it. Not such a great rack, this one, but opponent's got a few vowels. I have arc here for 22. Doesn't really address the ropiness of the rack, the play of arc. It's not terrible, but Mirza. Mirza for 32. Yeah. This rack looks a little better. Aguacate, not quite. Aguacate, I'd need an E and then I could play through the A, but that's not quite gonna work. Opponents played Evo. Suppose I could just play Ag. It feels weak, but it kind of... Nah, it's got to be something better than that. What about just gauze? It kind of scores nothing, but it frustrates these floaters, and this S is a very useful letter tile to play on to or through. Yeah, I think I'll go with this. Scores almost nothing, but it does serve a purpose. Now the G down, not going to work this time, I don't think. Egoistic. Okay, nice bingo. Caddies. Taj. I really need to get rid of one of these I's. There could be a J play down. Jadeite, but I need another. Yeah, that's not going to work. I think I will go with caddies and try and score more effectively on the next turn. 24. Okay, I've got Jota and AE. Opponent scores well there. He's taken the lead now. Just wondering what the best use of the J would be. I mean, Jots and said, but it just gives back easy scores to opponent. And it's a shocking rack leave. No, I'm definitely not doing that. I think JO here for 23. Otaries, that does play under gauze. And Auriest plays under the S of salutes. So I should be bingoing unless opponent plays through the A and the G. That would be most unfortunate. I didn't realise how low my time is. I better get a move on. So Otaries. Yeah. Otaries, Auriest. Yeah, it's got to play here. Oh, one across. Otaries. This is a hot spot above the A. O-bowl. No, that's 5. Jab and B-E. I'd like to get rid of... I'll play neb and bar if opponent doesn't take that spot. I imagine he will. Bed is good. Ah. Bento is good. What about bean? Could play bean. I might still go with neb here. For 27. It's just, I don't like the double O. Lube, 18, Bederac leave. Oh, lube's no good. That's LU. Yeah, okay. I'll just go with bean. Bean 2, I should have played TO. It just occurred to me as I played it. That's a shame. I could have got rid of... Anyway, what's done is done. Dow and Roo. Any other good W hotspots? Out-owed. That should be good. Nope, it's not. And we'll go with Dow, I think. Oboe takes an E, so I'll close that down if opponent doesn't. I'll play 2 E's under there, otherwise I'll play... Gotta play 2 E's somewhere. Toluene is good. Maybe just EE here. This is still a hot spot. Teen and Ned. I don't know if I need to be opening up like that. Okay, I'm going... Ooh. I'm going to go with teen here. Oh. Neat. Okay, I've still got OS here. Oboes and OS. J and Yi. I really have to start playing a bit quicker now. Ruse is good, but I can't get Syboe. S-Y-B-O-E. Doesn't reach. Or Syboe. S-Y-B... No, not sure about that. Ben. Can I get my Y to play on the triple? That'll be a nice score. I might just play OE here. How many vowels? Oh, no vowels to come. Wow. Might just go with 1. Yeah, there's no S's. Go with 1. Oh, the Q. This is interesting. Okay, opponent bingo's there. SUQ is good. Can I play... Oh, thank God I can play SUQ. But he's got the lead. Can I do something with this Q? I have to play it here. I can't see. There might be a better spot somewhere, but SUQ. I can play BE. NY and YE. YE 28. Bangy, no good. Bod. Boonus, no good. Nubus, no good. Gib is good. Where can I go out with BN? Wow, this is really close at the end. Jamb. That'll be a good score. If he blocks Jamb, what do I do? Gib. What's next best after Gib? Bobo and Ab. 12. But Jamb definitely best. Wow, this is really close. Okay, I'm going with Jamb. 21. And then N, I've got Gin and 10. Wow, what a close finish. Well, I mean, I had a bit of a cushion. Thank goodness I could get rid of the Q. What a game. 468 to me, 449 to opponent. Thank my opponent for the game. Let's see what we missed. Wow, that was nerve-wracking at the end there. So, opponents say play Analyzer suggests playing Teo for 6. Yeah, I thought if I change, I've also got floaters to play through if opponent makes the first move. So I just want to see what the exchange came up at. 21.64 as opposed to 22. Yeah, it's almost the same. So happy with that move. Opponent did exchange from this rack. He could have played Zoe for 30, but a ropey rack leave. So then I have Salutes for 64 with a whole bunch of other bingos. That was fine. Now Azoth's for 42. So maybe Saluter, but then it gave my opponent a useful tile, which, yeah, so they often say don't give extra tiles. If you can make the blank one of the tiles that's already in the word, it limits your opponent's opportunities. But in this case, it kind of backfired and he got a double word square. But generally, the that strategy does work. Now, Scrapey, 102. Look at that alongside. Wow, I didn't even think of a parallel play. And paretics was the 4-timer practice makes perfect. Ah, an everyday word. That's annoying. Sometimes your mind just starts anagramming the stranger words and you just kind of don't think of the everyday ones. So airscape was good as well from the A for a triple word square, as was air space, but pie crates, wow, well below the mark. Practice I should have spotted anyway. I did bingo there, and then opponent had this rack. He goes with Urai, which was a nice parallel play. And then I've got Corm for 29 at 06. Oh, of course, I didn't even think of hooking on to the end there. That was bad. Corm that's a pretty bad miss, because not only am I missing the highest score, I'm also gifting my opponent an easy score in that spot. So, but Mirza was a nice... Actually, Mirza scored more than Corm. And what was the rack leave after Mirza? Yeah, you see, not a great rack leave. I just saw the word and thought, yeah, that looks good. I was also worried about opponent coming down here. A word like prep or something, I don't know, something weird where he gets, but maybe it wasn't as dangerous as I thought. Anyway, Corm was definitely better. Evo for 21, opponent goes with, to sort out his rack, Gorm for 13, Gorp for 12, nothing fantastic. So Gauze also took out these floaters, or heavily restricted the use of the A, and then the S, very useful, and I was kind of protecting a lead, so it did make sense to do that. As it happens, opponent did have egoistic onto the C, so he gets that done. Taj for 36. I did contemplate that, but the rack leave, and I just thought opponent might score pretty well there, so I thought maybe keep the J, because there were some strong scoring opportunities for the following move, so I went with caddies. And opponent had a great underlap there with diff, sorting the rack out perfectly for 43. And yeah, which he wouldn't have had if I played Taj, but that's the way it goes. Jots for 46 I did contemplate, looked at the rack leave and looked at the easy scoring potential for opponent and opted against. I went with Joe for 23. What about Jiao through the A? Ah, that could have been nice. Yeah, Jiao. Better score, but I went with Joe. Now opponent's got a few L's. Yeah, he could have played Lil at 4A across. He went with Gil. Osiris for 71, and Roasty was the other one. Yeah, 11C. Just one further across. And then opponent had Lord for 18. Could have played Droll onto the L for 21 with the same rack leave. Now, Bean 2 was the play I identified as soon as I'd hit the enter button. Played Bean there, but I could have got rid of one of the O's as well and scored more. So I went with Bean, and then opponent had I for 28 with a great rack leave, but Knave for 34 with not quite as good a rack leave, but yeah, slightly higher equity. Woo-butt for 38. Wow, look at that. Woo-butt. That is a big score. 38 would have given me a 90-point lead. So I went with Dow for 30, which wasn't bad, I thought. Scored quite well. And then Nix for 42 was opponent's play. That seems fine. Although it did give back easy scores across the top, but I guess opponent had to do something with the X. So double E at 15A, I did contemplate that earlier, and I thought, okay, that's a good way to sort the rack out, and it scored quite well, taking out a hot spot. But then Neat for 26 was a higher score, and it also took out the hot spot because nothing goes above TI, so it killed any potential scores in front of X'd. So I did like Neat. Now Gherkin for 36, that would have put opponent within reach. 342. Where was Gherkin? From the GI. Nice. Creating a bingo lane. 342, so I would have still been 30 odd points ahead. Now this was an interesting rack because there was scoring potential, but I just couldn't see a high score. So Bowel onto the L. Oh, should have spotted that, really, shouldn't I have? And then opponent wouldn't have bingoed either, I don't think. Bowel. Everyday word. I should really have spotted that. That was a miss. I went with 1 for 24. It did score fairly well and kept the S. That was A1. And Ken takes an S, I think, as well. Cybo was the one I did contemplate, but where was that? L10. L10. Gorse. Double S. That's interesting. I didn't know Gorse took another S. So Cybo down. Yeah, and there were no S's to come. S. And the W wouldn't have been a fantastic floater for opponent to use. Although the O might have been. So I didn't want to open more lanes if I didn't need to. I went with 1. And then interval comes down. I don't think there were any other bingos. No. And I should have really identified the potential for a bingo onto the L with these remaining tiles, but I was under time pressure and I saw this queue and I thought just get rid of it. But Souk in 2 spots, L10, oh of course because of the Gauze S hook. I went with Souk down the bottom, which scored 10 fewer points, so it just shows handy to know your 5s. And then opponent had for 26, which was a good score considering He had no vowels. And then Yi for 28, but Yen for 31. Okay, get rid of the N as well, and then you go out with... Yeah, that did make sense. I don't know why I kept the N back. Strange. Also, I was under time pressure and I just wasn't thinking clearly too. So, Pyre for 8, and opponent had Eng for 10, but at this stage unwinnable, and Jam for 21. So that was the end of the game. Some interesting positions to consider, some bad misses, but a good game, I thought. Hope you enjoyed watching that one, and I will see you next time.